Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. This next request is going to be a little interesting. What's it called? Hsv? There it is. Herpes Simplex Virus. Alright, this is going to be either really good or really bad. Hsv, also known as Herpes Simplex Virus, is a common form of the herpes virus. There are two types. Hsv1, which has infected about 60% of the entire world. Whoa, really? And Hsv2. Cold sores, most common type. And number 2 is genital herpes, so an STD. Okay, so the two different kinds of herpes. I have heard a lot of people make fun of people who have cold sores and stuff, and it's like, you've got herpes, you got an STD. It's like, no, different strain of the virus. Don't be gross. But yeah, anyway, in this scenario, you are neither. You're a strain of HSV that can cause symptoms from both types. HSV1 has infected most of the world, yet can't finish the job, and HSV2 is struggling. Then a strain of HSV that can have both shall overcome humanity. Oh, one more thing. Praise Pravus! Yay! Okay, so it's weak in the urban climates, but very good in the urban regions. That means we should play in probably China. HSV mutates close to the virus from frozen virus. Darwinist or genetic mimic shall succeed well here. Good to know, so we want mutation chance. Korea and Central Europe have airports. Rival China in a starting location. So Korea? Really? You want to start in Korea? We can start in Korea. HSV, all this seems okay. All right, so let's go ahead and subscribe and give it a shot by Electric Victor. It's taking surprisingly long to download, though. For just a simple scenario? There we go. Virus. ATP boost is probably fine. Genetic Mimic is also pretty good. I don't know. Do we want Darwinist? Let's go for the Darwinist and have a little bit of fun. Aquasotic Streamophile and the Symptostasis. Probably fine. Normal difficulty, HSV, and we will start in Korea. In this scenario, you're taking control over a strain of HSV that can cause both symptoms. Be aware that herpes relies on contact to spread, not air. Humanity will learn to pay attention to you, hopefully soon enough. If you're going to pick Saudi Arabia, think again. HSV will not spread well in arid climates. However, you get a bonus in urban areas. Because of that, you should consider starting in an urban country. Or don't, I'm just text. All country populations have been updated for the year 2018, really? 80 million, 330 million. So it's been updated to reflect actual modern populations as opposed to when this game was originally made. Huh, okay. So let's start in Korea, because reasons. It's probably not the best starting locations, but we'll do it. Saliva 1. HSV is able to spread through contact with saliva, mostly through eating and drinking after another, or kissing. Unlocks more transmissions. We'll do that. STD. Okay, so this is the second strain version. Liquids 1. Pathogen can survive in certain types of liquids and water. Increases infectivity in humid environments as well as the ship transmission. Pretty good infectivity. Self-inoculation. Scratching infected skin and contact with uninfected skin spreads the HSV to other parts of the body. Inoculation, I guess. Is that the right word to use in this case? I guess maybe it kind of is. Saliva 2, even better. Yeah, all these seem pretty reasonable to me. All right, symptoms we have cold sores, blisters that border the lip area that are infected with HSV, increases infectivity, and unlocks transmission options. We can get level 1 and 2. Burning sensation, burning feelings in the host, especially if touched. A little bit of extra severity, but we'll pick that up. Genital sores, not genital. Sores and scabs begin to appear in the genital region, being uncomfortable and transmitted through intercourse HSV2 symptom. So the 1 symptoms are probably not going to have as much severity, but the 2 will probably scare a lot of people. Herpes simplex keratitis, I don't know what that is, can swell the cornea of the eye, causing overproduction of tears and slight redness in one or both eyes. Abilities. We already start off with attack or evade. In order for HSV to succeed, modification is recommended. Path 1 focuses on attacking the immune system, like HIV, while the other evades it, stealthy. Interesting. Attack the T cells to suppress the immune system. Vulnerable to other diseases, increases transmission infectivity, but can be lethal, or evade them, reducing severity. Probably go down the lethal tree, but not yet. We have herpes gladiatorum, which looks like fomites. Allows pathogen to spread via contact. Name is known as mat herpes. I do not know what that means, but okay. So Korea is not considered wealthy, although I think it really should be. South Korea, okay, I guess if you really even it out between the two, North and South, and not quite the same thing, but still. Let's go for self-inoculation. STD is probably good for the mutation chance. Do we want mutation chance? Maybe not to start off. Maybe the Darwinist is actually not the best ploy. Let's go for a little bit of extra water transmission. New Zealand is the center of a magnetic field shift. So, Korea doesn't have a port, so starting there may not have been the best, but we'll go for Saliva 2 next. Lip balm attachment. HSV can attach itself to the surface of lip balm. Sharing of lip balm increases infectivity. One of the reasons I never share lip balm with anybody, because it is gross. Okay, we're getting into China, which is also urban, so we should have a pretty good infectivity there. Water 2 would be nice, but I may want to go for Herpes gladiatorum, just so we can get a little bit more urban infectivity, especially as we travel into Europe, which is considered wealthy. There we go. New disease. They have discovered me. Hsv outbreak. Scientists are confused about the news of an Hsv outbreak in Korea. They begin to investigate how a strain of HSV is spreading higher than usual. Yes, we thought we had it all figured out. But no, you did not. Let's see. Gladiatorium 2, urban and wealthy, and plain transmission. Asymptomatic shedding. HSV is able to spread through shedded skin even when not active. Increases infectivity with a bonus in the arid countries. Now there's something I could use. New dominant HSV strain. They've concluded that it is a fused edition. They're scratching their heads on the matter. Don't do it. Don't scratch your heads. That releases dead skin cells, which I will now use with the asymptomatic shedding. Aha! Shedded skin will now get everyone infected. Well done. Herpes simplex keratitis has been mutated, which is not lethal, so that's fine. Abilities, we're going to go for some drug resistance to make this a little bit better in the wealthy countries. There we go. We should have enough severity. We're getting a pretty healthy amount of DNA. Let's go for a little bit of cold transmission. Korea is neither hot nor cold, so we actually want to get a bit of both. Genetic reshuffle is kind of okay. Mutation chance, maybe not. Maybe water. Water would probably be a good thing to get right about now. 21 DNA to do that, though. But, hey, we got a lot of points, so we can afford it. Boom. Let's also go for the lip balm attachments. We have a pretty good amount of infectivity at the moment. Not looking to ramp up my mutation chance quite yet, though we may want to do so soon. Let's go for... I can't get the heat transmission yet. Now we can. Grab. That leads to Hardened Shell 1. HSV builds a small amount of tolerance in both hot and cold climates. By the way, so far this scenario is pretty well put together. All the descriptions are pretty darn solid. They all thematically make some level of sense. It's custom layout for everything. Honestly, it's a good, solid scenario so far. I am liking it. Another bonus in the arid regions would be nice, but we could go for more plain transmission if we do this, which I think I'd rather do. So I think we are going to start ramping up some mutation chance now, just so we can start saving ourselves DNA and continue working on a lot of the... transmission options, mostly to get some arid transmission since we seem to be having some trouble getting around in Africa. That could lead to dragging particles. HSV becomes very efficient at spreading through shedding skin and contact. Increases effectiveness in arid, urban, and wealthy areas. If I can get 29 DNA. Genteel sores have mutated. That'll scare some people, but that's all right. Not worried about it. We need a little bit more. 29 DNA. Japan shuts down their airports a little bit too late. That's fine. All the transmissions are now done. Okay, so we're good on all of this. I could start going down T-cell targeting. Alternatively, Hardened Shell for the extra environmental resistance would not be too bad. Help me around in places like Africa. So we'll go ahead and pick up at least a level of that. Then for symptoms, we have painful urination. Virus activity in the lower areas of the human body causes painful urination, increases severity and infectivity through liquids. Sounds great and all, but do I want that? Hardened Shell 2 is tempting simply because we are having so much trouble in a place like Africa. So you know what? I am going to go for another level of it. I think that our mutation will probably start leading toward lethality pretty soon, but we want to make sure we actually get around everywhere. Triple engineered HIV vaccine complete. After years of testing vaccines, a triple action antibody vaccine for HIV has completed human trials. HIV and AIDS will be crippled. However, HSV is the next target. Cure research speed increases. Uh-oh. Flu symptoms. Okay, hang on. We're only missing Morocco, so that's good at least. So we got the flu symptoms, influenza unlocking more symptoms. We have fever, which will start getting some lethality, slightly lethal. Go ahead and pick that up. Lack of appetite. The host loses the desire to eat, making them much more vulnerable to infection as well as lower energy, slightly lethal. Okay. Headache. Throbbing pain in the cranium reduces focus and determination on current tasks. Reduces the cure progress. Could be good. Herpetic gingivostomatitis. Gingivostomatitis. I don't know what that is. Lesions caused by the viral infection in the mouth causes discomfort when chewing or swallowing, further reducing the desire to eat, counterable by good oral hygiene. Psychosocial impact due to the resurgence of HSV. Infected feel uncomfortable and judgment arises slightly harder to cure. Pick that up. Psychological distress. Uncopable or uncopable, I think is what you mean. Stress forms in the host due to the impact of HSV. In the general opinion of the population or social stigma. Increases lethality and increases work on the cure. We're getting around to Morocco now. We definitely need to get some lethality. Now, I'm curious, does this do nothing now? Because it was supposed to be similar to HIV, but that has been vaccinated. So does it actually do anything? There's the psychological distress, which is certainly good. Mutation chance will start carrying me a good chunk of the way through, I'm hoping. We need to get 16 DNA. There it is. Grab. Any more lethality would be good for me at this point. B-cell targeting. HSV begins attacking the B-cells, suppressing the immune system even further. Okay, all that sounds good. Herpetic gingivostomatitis has indeed been infected. That was actually pretty good. No healthy people left in the world. And I need 19 to get that next level. I think the mutation will carry me the rest of the way here, so I'm not going to worry about the rest. We do have weight loss, which will make people a bit more vulnerable. Obsessive-compulsive disorder would be nice. Yeah, we're looking at a pretty significant amount of cure right here. Headache has mutated, which slows things down ever so slightly. Scientists engineer immune cells. With time running out and HSV taking lives, scientists have declared one last plan: to take out T, B, and NK cells and modify them for combating the HSV once returned to the body. Cure research increases. Okay, so we need to do a genetic reshuffle and slow things down now. We're in a lot of trouble, actually. We are not killing nearly quick enough to make this work. Crud! This actually is looking to be pretty tough. Weight loss is great and all, but that's not going to be nearly enough lethality. Oh, crud. As we progress through this, we really don't have enough to catch up. I was really expecting it to be a bit more. Herpes viral encephalitis is probably really good. Very fatal in rare cases. Not too rare, it turns out. I was counting on a bit more mutation chance than this, so we're going to lose and I'm going to have to restart, which is unfortunate. But I'm really not sure what I would change. Maybe focus a little bit less on the infectivity. Maybe? I don't know. All right, let's try this one again. Okay, starting in China, turns out, has been far more effective, and I did go start for a little bit of extra lethality kind of early on. Also went for the air transmission really early on here. And now I think we go ahead and go for fever, headache, and herpes viral encephalitis for the extra ramp up in lethality. They have started curing HIV and such. We got into Greenland, which is really what was slowing me down. Now that I'm there, all we have left is Morocco, which I think we have a pretty good chance of getting into, regardless at this point, even though they have closed down the borders. Mollaret's meningitis, very lethal, could be pretty good. Let's go for sociological distress and impact to try and slow down the cure. HSV has been linked to the immune suppression. We are indeed in Morocco. Now that we're in every single country, I think we go for the meningitis, so we can really ramp up that lethality. So yeah, that's kind of where I went wrong, is I relied too much on the mutation chance and didn't go for the symptoms as early as I think I kind of needed to. We'll go for the weight loss, and we can go for anger management failure. Impacts from multiple psychological disorders scramble the mind and cause the host to begin to take out their rage. Increasing lethality and more work is needed for the cure. Okay, so yeah, starting in China and going down that route has made things significantly easier. Got the water transmission, got the air transmission. We did go for all the environmental stuff, got the drug resistance pretty early on. We can slow down the cure research even more by going for NK cell targeting and then go for increased activity chance. HSV can spread more if it is active in the host, else it hides from the immune system. Increases the lifetime of activation and slows down the cure as well as mutation. And then finally, recovery effect. Targeting gets an advantage at fighting the new types of TB and NK cells, which I think takes effect after that event begins. So now that we picked it up, that should pretty much eliminate their attempt at another vaccine. And we have plenty of lethality, making this very, very easy indeed. Let's reset the cure a little bit to get a little tiny bit of extra score. And now we just sort of sit back and wait. And we actually managed to infect the entire world before China got killed, which is pretty good in terms of timing. So yeah, much, much better strategy starting off in China. HSV is indeed going to destroy humanity. There we go, boom. 3 stars, 66,000 points, 374 days, only 27% cure progress. So once I got the hang of this, this is actually a really solid scenario. There's nothing to dislike about it. Good descriptions, lots of good customization, stuck by a theme that makes sense. The only thing where I think it starts to go a little off is the flu symptoms, because it kind of made sense that it was HSV, both strains combined. Where the flu stuff comes from, I don't really know. Maybe the author just kind of ran out of ideas as far as what strains to put in. Either way, it was certainly very effective, though I haven't heard of the flu symptoms leading to meningitis in particular. But hey, Whatever works for me is great. Absolutely, I'll recommend it. That was a really solid scenario. Guys, go take a look at that and upvote it if you feel it's so inclined. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.